Quarterback one for the Chicago Bears in the 2021-2022 season will be Andy motherfucking Dalton. What's good? This is JVB representing SPD, and that is sportsperdiem.com. You heard me correctly. The Chicago Bears quarterback this upcoming season, the QB1, at least that's what he thinks, is Andy Dalton. And don't get me wrong, I did a video last offseason talking about the possibility of the Chicago Bears signing Andy Dalton. Instead, he took a backup job with the Dallas Cowboys for $3 million. That's important because the Chicago Bears signed Andy Dalton to a one-year deal worth $10 million. That just speaks on how desperate Ryan Pace is. This man paid $10 million for Andy Dalton. I get it. I understand that the Bears really did pursue Russell Wilson. They called Seattle, and they called Seattle morning, noon, and night. But the Seahawks wasn't going. The Seahawks said, I think we'll pass. They hung up the phone on the Chicago Bears. Now, there is word out there that the Chicago Bears are still pursuing Russell Wilson, even though they paid $10 million to Andy Dalton. And oh, by the way, they still have Nick Foles on the roster as well. I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen, but realistically, I think this is it. I think Andy Dalton and Nick Foles are your number one and number two quarterbacks, depending on who wins the quarterback battle starting the 2021 season. And an opinion that a lot of you guys may have, a lot of you guys may be thinking, is Andy Dalton better than Mitch Trubisky? Now, Mitch Trubisky just signed to be the backup quarterback over in Buffalo behind Josh Allen. But is Andy Dalton a better quarterback than Mitch Trubisky? The simple answer is, who gives a fuck? Neither one of those guys are taking you to the top. But can Bill Lazor bring out the best of Andy Dalton for just one season? Just to keep it real, I really don't think he can do that. It sucks so bad that this franchise has to live by the hope process. I hope that Mitch Trubisky is the best quarterback in this 2017 draft. I hope Nick Foles can take over for Mitch Trubisky if need to. He can take over this team and ride him into the sunset. I hope that Andy Dalton can reunite with Bill Lazor and he can have a pretty good season. He can throw for 30 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, and 4,000 yards. That's the sad reality for us Bears fans. That's what we have to resort to. It sucks that this is the situation this franchise is in, but guess what? They can't blame nobody but they damn selves. Talked about Ryan Pace ad nauseum about drafting Mitch Trubisky over Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. Trading up one spot, multiple picks to get Mitch Trubisky over Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. Then that same offseason, you signed Mike Glennon to a big contract. Spoiler alert, Mike Glennon fails. He sucks. But Mitch Trubisky comes in. We see Mitch Trubisky for what? 3.5 years. And we see what he is. He's a journeyman, backup quarterback. And with all of that, they trade a 4th-round compensatory pick for Nick Foles. And they take on Nick Foles' contract. And now fast forward one offseason later, and they sign Andy Dalton to a one-year, $10 million contract. This is why Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy should have been gone at the end of this season. So you can really start over. So you can go into the draft and you say, okay, we're starting all the fucking way over. I get it. Your job is on the line. You want to go for the gusto. You want to trade the whole fucking draft and next year's draft for Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson. Now you got to ride it out with Andy Dalton, Nick Foles, and potentially a rookie quarterback. And don't get me completely wrong. At the very fucking least, the Chicago Bears did not trade any draft picks. And I know Ryan Pace's track record with first round picks, they ain't that good. The best guy that he drafted is Roquan Smith in the first round. But I guess on the bright side, at least you have a first round pick. At least you have a nice complement of picks going into this year's draft. That's the best thing that came out of this deal. Because Andy Dalton ain't no better than Mitch Trubisky. The Bears, they did move up. The Chicago Bears are still fucking right here. It's sad as hell, but that's what it is. But guys, girls, all the Bears fans around the fucking world, let me know down below. How do you all feel about Andy Dalton potentially being the quarterback number one, the QB1 for the Chicago Bears this upcoming 2021-2022 season? Do you like the move because the Bears didn't trade any draft picks? They kept all the draft picks that they have. Ryan Pace did not go madman crazy. Or do you dislike the move? Because Andy Dalton, you don't think Andy Dalton's any fucking good? Maybe you think Mitch Trubisky is better than Andy Dalton. Or maybe you're disappointed that they didn't come through with Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson. Whatever it may be, let me know down below. But I'm out. Like the video and share the video. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, take it easy. God bless. Peace.